shukri sal. Before I go any further, I really want to thank all the amazing people who put this together. I'm telling you, what Ubah, Fatia, and Dr. Muna did, and AJ, it's just, to me, amazing. It's like, if you want a job get done, put Somali woman at the scene, and it will get it done. That's for sure. Just a month of organization, it was really amazing. So this book is called The Last Nomad. When I set off writing this book, I knew many of you will fall in love, because I want to write a story that will resonate with the people of the past, with the people of the present, and then the young generations of today. My daughter Ayan, who's recording me right now, is, she's the people who were born here and have no idea what's like to be in Somalia. And here she goes, Mama, I'm watching your high school years, and there was a boy, and maybe there was a kiss. And you know what? The truth is, we are an older generation, but we come upon it. I feel like my generation have the best of everything, right? What a gift, right? What a gift it was to grow up, to be in high school in Somalia, to check out all these handsome Somali men, to see Somali women in their beautiful garment swaying their hip along of Mogadishu, the white Somaliland, the villa, the purple flowers that fall onto the walls of Mogadishu, just the rain that is warm on your skin, the ocean that just draws at you, beautiful place. Somalia, the Somalia I grew up, the Somalia that has the longest water shore, that is my Somalia. So in Somalia we say, "Wari meyside, war ha kaa haro," right? In a similar Somali English proverb, an African proverb, when an elder dies, a library is burned. I know I'm not an elder yet. I'm getting there, right? But I'm not an elder yet. But I really felt it was my job to weave this tale for you guys. So my story, as many of you will read it started in the desert. I was a daughter of a young, beautiful, nomadic young lady. My mother was 15 when she married my father, who was much older, which was normal. Everything you have to look at for its time. It was normal that time for an older man to marry a younger time, right? Younger woman. And so there comes my beautiful mom, and she ended up in the city with my dad. My dad was actually a teacher. A Somalia in this time, that the time I'm being born, is also going through some political things. I am like 74, 75. Somalia had actually the worst drought the time I was born. And there comes my mom, and she was adamant in giving one of her daughters to the desert. That means if I'm gonna live here, I'm gonna have to give somebody to be an helper to my grandmother. That was not gonna be a son, right? We believe if there was somebody to educate, we give the money to the son. Although what got us the most trouble was our daughters, right? This beautiful gift of our daughters. So the mom came, and I was born as my mother's fourth daughter, tipping the scale in her favor. However, my amazing father actually believed, and I'm speaking English, I apologize, but the book is written in English, but I also wanted to be respectful for our guest, and I know as a woman who's married to somebody, an Eritrean and Ethiopian family, often I'm like, what are they saying? I don't know. I just hear them, I'm Amharic, and I'm like, you guys are not roasting me, are you? So that is why I'm speaking, so I apologize. Where were we? Something. To your grandmother. So grandmother. So then my mom, who tended to put up my father's wife-taking habit, was like, no, I am gonna give this daughter of mine. I was, like I said, was born my mother's fourth daughter, tipping the scale in her favor, and she picked me up and dropped me in the desert. Honestly, for a curious child, the desert held my imagination. And I don't know if you read, but the book actually, every book starts with a Somali proverb. And to me, I love Somali proverb, and I have to thank my late brother, Gulet, who I think many of you know him as Gulet Wilwal. I don't know if many of you know him. He passed away, and I am still grieving him. How do you bury your younger brother? But he's the one who's beautifully translated all the Somali, very intricate Somali proverb. So the first chapter, actually, it says, a nomad, and it says, hooyaday aniga iyo calool adayg bayna dhashay. Alongside with me, mother gave birth an indomitable will. That's quite a translation. So I end up in the desert, and I thought, as I come of age, that will be my destiny forever. But in a way, my mother passed away, and that changed the trajectory of my life. What I'm saying today, as I'm here today, I really felt, especially when I see people my daughter's age and all of these youngsters that are coming of age, and not knowing your history, where you come from, the history of your mom, the history of your grandmother, grandfather. It really, I felt like it was my job as a Somali woman to excavate that world for you. And I know so many people are resonating because so many Westerners are calling me and saying and sending me email, what a book. I could not put it down. And so that is another thing. If I was going to write a book about my people, I was going to do it well. And it was a lot of hard work because, to be honest, I was the girl who did high marks on chemistry and math, but you gave her an English assignment. I'm like, no! That was not fun for me. So there comes, I weave the tale of in the time of the war, the time of first love, first heartache, what it's like to be a refugee, what it's like to get stuck in the borders, and then what it's like to discover a new world. And the one that you really freeze for a desert people, I come to Canada in the dead of winter, and it was freezing. And I looked down, an airplane was descending down, and I see mountains and mountains of snow. And I remember thinking, and you expect me to survive there? I am dead. So I have so much to write about my people. At times, I can't sleep because I'm bubbling with all this story, but I still work as a nurse. And I actually worked through the pandemic, and I work sometimes 13-hour shift. And then I'll come home, and I don't eat outside food. I have like digestive disorders, so I actually have to cook every meal most of the time. So there's a lot of work to be me, right? Writing, going to work as a nurse, cooking your food because you can't eat outside all the time, you know. But I am so honored to write this story for you. And I know many of you told me you saw this story in you. You know, I have to be honest. I know people, when I was writing, some people would say, well, you cannot say that or you cannot say that. First of all, no one should write a story to get a revenge on somebody. To write a story should be just to tell a tale of our people. But for me, there was no putting down anybody. I am Somali, and to me, I love my Somali people. I really love, you know. I have, no matter, it's like it uplifts me, and I get so excited, you know, and but I really am so excited that this is what a second generation can use. And now that the book made it to the libraries of journal, it's already schools are using it, you know, and universities are picking up. And I want everybody to share, this is your history. And I will continue to tell our history. Thank you so much.
Actually, I related to the story a lot.
Oh,
and
thank you so much.
I hope this is not sensitive. I want to talk about your mother specifically. I related to your mother a lot, to my mother as well. I love how you said on page 78, you said, my mother was a true nomad until the end, tough, resilient, uncomplaining. And then I also wanted to say, on page 88, you talked about but Somalia is not the same anymore, Hoyo. This is, you were talking about a context to her, yeah. And he said, it's now run by religious fanatics and a new type of madmen. Our beautiful culture is under attack, and our way of life is threatened. If you were alive today, you would cry over the cultural genocide our people have suffered. So the question I have about that is, as a young man who lives here, and a lot of the times it sounds like a contradictory where I am claiming the Somali culture and telling my parents, oh no, this is what we used to do, this is what we want to go back to. And they're saying, no, we want this new adopted culture. A lot of the times we sort of relate to the Arabic culture much more than the Somali culture. And you just talked about the Somali, the beauty, the city and all of that. Talk more a little bit about that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, African. That's amazing. And that's another place, actually, you can get the book. When I was checking Sonoma County Library, they give the whole library 35 books. And at some point, there were 89 people waiting. And I was like, to learn about the Somali culture. So yes, we do have an amazing culture. I am a lover of my culture. I am. I don't know if I ever told you, but I am a granddaughter of a poet. Yes, yeah. And it was my grandmother. She was known for Halima Hirsibile, but she had a poet name. And her poet name was Hadiya Xooga Xordhaley. I'll tell you a story. I'm not into tribes, and many of you know, because I actually wrote this book so well, and stay away from tribe. You know why? Because I am Somali, and I am composed of all of these tribes that are fighting. And I did not feel it was right to choose only my father's tribe when my grandmother is another tribe, when my mom is another tribe, when all of these people are different tribes. And then I see now, when I send money and when I feel the pain of my people, they are every tribe. So for that, I say, I am just going to love my people for just the way they are. For me, I felt like for a daughter who ended up watching, imagine this girl who just watched my grandmother, who was a camel tamer when he was the job of a man, who was a poet, who watched this, my mother, my father, all of this amazing women who saw the beauty of my culture. I am forever changed for that.